Now, this time last week, we went to Cheltenham for a special day's racing. We left feeling terrible, really, after the loss of Many Clouds. With us to discuss that and horse welfare is Eva O'Donoghue. Good of you to join us. You're a vet. You've worked at racecourses around the country. Let's start with Many Clouds. Eva, just explain in layman's terms what happened last week.
So it came to light fairly quickly after the sad events last Saturday at Cheltenham that Many Clouds had suffered from a severe pulmonary hemorrhage, which in layman's terms is essentially a rupture of the major vessels within the lungs. It's quite unpreventable, as I say, it's very, very rare.
And what do you say to people, and there's been talk about it this week, who say he should not have been running? With his past medical record, he should have been retired a while back.
No, there was absolutely no veterinary reason why Many Clouds shouldn't have run last weekend. The previous episodes of him with his ataxia and a little bit of wobbliness, loss of balance, that was due to simply overheating. So an increase in body temperature, which was fixable with rehydration. So what I would say is that, again, the horse was at the top of his game. There was no reason why he shouldn't have run. It's a very unfortunate incident, obviously.
Indeed. Let's look forward and talk about horse welfare in this country. Now, the BHA has a mission statement which says they want to lead on horse welfare. Just explain to us, therefore, what happens on a day-to-day basis around this country.
So, firstly, I believe that the standard of care of racehorses in this country is second to none. The BHA continuously monitor the welfare of racehorses in racing yards around the country and on days like today at racecourses. So they're continuously keeping up to speed, whether it's on medication, anti-doping. That's an ongoing fact. On a larger scale, the BHA have invested more than 30 million in veterinary education and research, and what they're doing with that is they've been successfully decreasing the amount of fatalities year on year in racing.
And what about on race day itself, Eva? What sort of things have they got in place?
So obviously you have three or four specially qualified veterinary surgeons who are working with racehorses day in, day out. So they're in situ, as well as the horse ambulance for support. You have your regulatory vet. So everybody's in different positions, whether it's in the paddock, in the stables, in the treatment area. People are vets on the course as well, obviously. So people are ready to actually go and treat these horses, whether it's in a first aid situation or further investigations down in the stables.
We can see it here, Eva. Just explain what's happening here, the cars following the action here at Sandown.
Yeah, so you'd normally be driven as a vet in that car, so you'd follow around. Normally there's a vet actually at the start, and then you'll have one at the finish. And if something does occur, in running, then you can easily, just jump out, and essentially you have your first aid bag, your oxygen, your equipment. You're like a mobile veterinary clinic in the car or in the Jeep there. So you can treat these horses. Obviously the animal welfare is number one, and you don't want them to be in any distress.
And Eva, like any athlete, the horses, they've got to have the best of everything to compete at this level, haven't they? I mean, you can't, as Mo Farah, you can't live on junk food, can you? You've got to have all...
No, I mean, I think racehorses, veterinary medicine has come on in leaps and bounds, even since I've qualified, and I think racehorses are being treated like the elite athletes that they are now, whether it's the feeding, whether it's the training on the veterinary side, everything is being done, and, I don't think we can be doing much more, really.
Great news.
Eva, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. We'll see more of you, I'm sure, over the coming weeks. Thank you for explaining that. Right, before we move on to the race at Wetherby, the Towton at Wetherby, the Novice Chase, quick final word on Top Notch here.